Hey, good morning, everyone. I think there are enough people here to start the stand-up. So, just to introduce myself, I am Rahmat, one of your tutors. We just met earlier on the tutorial. We barely met, so I just want to introduce myself. With that being said, tutors, sorry, I said one of your tutorials, one of your tutors. So, with that being said, let's just move on to save everyone's time since we have 30 minutes to finalize the stand-up. Any volunteers who will start from answering what they have done so far, what are their plans for tomorrow's submission, and so on, if you have questions as well. And those of you who want to speak in Amharic, of course, you are welcome to do so. So it would be nice if people volunteer instead of me calling names. Any volunteers? መናገር የሚፈልግ ሰው አለ? እንዴት እንደነበር ፕሮጀክታችሁ ሶ ፋር? ለነገ ሰብሚሽን ሃው ሬዲ አር ዩ? Okay, thank you, Dagam. You can. Sorry, አይሰማም። ትንሽ ድምፅን ከፍ አድርገው።
Okay, አሁንስ ይሰማል?
Yes, better.
Okay, so like the tasks were very good. Like it's going well, but on task 2, I have some questions.
Okay.
Okay, the first thing is like when we start profiling, like there are so-called incorrect entries that we have to filter out, right? So like, for example, for GHI, DHI, like how do we differentiate the one which is incorrect if it is of the same data type? Like, for example, it is like GHI, DHI, it's like float data type, but how do we distinguish an invalid entry from the valid one? For example, is it by using negative or
Okay.
like that's my first question.
Okay.
And the second one is like when we treat the outliers, like when we like detect the outliers using this course, and then like when we treat them, do we use drop or imputate to actually filter out the outliers? Because like when I used imputate on outliers, it actually decreases them, but it doesn't eliminate them completely.
Okay.
So like that are my two questions.
Okay. Thank you, Dagam. Anyone from the team who would like to answer him? Let's start from the first question. That is, how will I identify the outliers, right? Basically, that's the question.
No, not the outliers, the invalid entries.
Invalid interest. For example, what kind of interest do you get?
For example, for GHI, there are like negative GHI and positive GHI. Like outside of that, there's nothing I could consider invalid. But how do we like determine if it is invalid or not? Like, is it based on the nature of the data?
It says flag rows with greater than 3 are considered, wait. So while we wait, can someone answer him if they've gone through with this step? Okay. So to answer the question, as far as I know, to identify this incorrect increase, which are the outliers. So if you do EDA on them, you will identify these outliers. So from all those values within the DHI and everything, if there are some outliers that you see within the graph or some calculations that you're doing, you can identify them. You can choose to remove them, those values. So it's not about having negative values and everything. And if you see the outlier detection on the documentation you can also use the z-score, which is when you plot them, the outliers will be shown within the z-score. So flag rows within the z-score if it comes greater than 3, you can take them as outliers and do your own options to solve them, like the dropping. So usually when you drop missing values and everything for the second question, I think, okay, let's just focus on the first one. Is that answered for the first one before I go to the dropping thing?
Partially, not completely.
Like it's partially correct that the outliers are also the invalid data, but
Yes,
my
they are
question is
invalid.
like for the negative. So for example, there is a data or a column from a data set that I have, which
Mm,
actually permits, I guess, positive numbers. For example, the luminosity of the sun or something. That's a
mm.
positive number. Like if there is a negative number, do we consider that as an invalid entry? That's my question.
That is, I don't want to say the negative is, I mean, it depends on the data. So if that negative value doesn't make sense for you for that particular data, because you can consider that as incorrect inquiries. But negative
Okay.
values are values as well. So if the data does have a meaning by having a negative value, maybe that's not an invalid inquiry. So
Okay. I see.
I don't want you to take the negative thing as entirely a negative incorrect inquiry, because it might not
Okay.
be, it just might be just a value that particular data has.
Okay.
Okay, so with that being said, I think you should focus more on identifying missing values, those outliers, using
Hmm.
EDA in these calculations. Usually those will give you, if you identify those and do the necessary step to correct them, you will have a clean data.
Okay.
So for the second question, yes, if the missing values, for example, are too much, just don't waste your time with the input, just drop them.
Okay. I see.
So compare, if the missing values are a lot, just don't, it doesn't make a point to fill them with these median values.
Okay.
Dropping is the best option. But if they are medium and a small amount, choosing to create a median value of columns and filling them with that value, those missing values, is the next best option.
Okay.
Okay. So is that answer your question right on both?
Yeah, it does answer my question, right? Thank you very much.
Yeah. Before we go, so you are ready for tomorrow's submission?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Okay. Great. Thank you, Udagam, for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Gamachis, you can go ahead.
Yep. I think I want to add something on the Dagin's question. I think he has a point there. I mean, when it comes to cleaning data, we have to consider everything that has to be cleaned. I mean, maybe in this case, you can say we have to just focus on the outliers, but when it comes to cleaning data, we have to also consider whether the data is correct or not. For example, everything related to the radiation, they cannot be negative. The data has to be positive. So if the data has to be positive, we shouldn't be considering those negative values because it affects our analysis. That is part of the ED. I mean, so I think we can take other measures. Maybe if the count of the negative values, for example, if it is insignificant, we can completely remove them. But if they are significant, we should do maybe the conversion. We can convert them to positive values. If maybe there are some kind of unintentional errors, we can also go with that approach. But I think you have to be somehow need some kind of clarity. Or maybe if we have to ignore any other things and just focus on the outliers, that's good. But if we have to clean everything, you should also consider that one.
Yeah, I agree. It's just I just don't want to give the idea for everyone if they see negative value to take it as an incorrect value. That's what I was trying to say. It depends on the data to decide if this negative value is incorrect in theory or not. So more like recommending to see the data before deciding this is incorrect and correct, instead of just generalizing negative values are incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, you have a point. I think we both agree with that. Dagam, I think, is clear for him as well. Thank you for Gamachis for that.
Okay.
Okay. Then Gamachis, I think we should, since you are talking, just tell me about your readiness for tomorrow's submission. How much, how far do you come with the project implementation so far? Where are you?
Okay. So I think I'm doing fine. I think until yesterday I was setting up my environment, and so the project and everything I have set up everything, and then yesterday afternoon and today I'm working on the EDA part, and so I think I'm halfway. And in the same way, I'm also working on the report for tomorrow's submission, and hopefully it will be get ready by the time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Participating. Yeah. Okay. Who's the next lucky person to share? Anyone? Okay, thank you. Metaspia, hopefully I pronounced your name right. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm on task 2. I'm working on the EDA process. Till now, it's a good progress. But my question on task 2 is, do we have to work the EDA process for all nations, or the 3 nations, in different file, or can we work the EDA process on one file, just on one file, working on the EDA process for the 3 countries?
So you're saying for the 3 countries having different file or one file?
Yeah, like processing the EDA, working on the EDA process for all the countries, for each country within a file.
Okay, so it's fine. You can do it within one file. So you can just name it EDA for the countries and so on, and you can do that. But when it comes to the concept of modularization, having a separate files, folders, whatever, is much considered as a best practice because forever who's tracking your work can easily just by reading your file name knows what to expect within the file. So if you separate it, it's fine. If you go both ways, for now, it is not that much a complex task you're going to implement. So one file can be enough. But I personally would recommend separating them for tracking and managing your work. That's the best option. But
Okay, thank you.
One file as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So you ready for tomorrow's submission?
Yes, I guess I'm working on the task 2, so I think I can, with my progress now, I can submit tomorrow.
Okay. So far from what I hear, you are on the right track. So have a good, good luck with everything, and thank you for speaking up.
Thank you.
Masben, you can go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good morning.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Good afternoon. 6 ساعات الفعل.
Right.
Okay. I just I'm not very sure I am on the right track.
Okay.
So please, I need some.
Where are you? Maybe you
help.
can start from there.
I'm just looking on the shared folder. There is a PDF,
Mm.
and I am following that. I already set up my GitHub repository, my environment. Okay.
So you have set up all your environments, the GitHub.
Yeah.
Basically, you have done task 1.
Yes, seems that. Yeah.
You have done
So,
the. Okay. Go ahead.
so am I continue to task 2? Is that the right
Yes.
track?
According to task 1, you need to do is setting up your GitHub repo, your environment setup. If you don't have Python on everything, you should install those things. How to use do for GitHub. I'm following the documentation here. So from what you are telling me, you are doing all these things. Maybe you can set up basic CI if you can. It's just creating the file name as you see in the documentation. It's a really simple step to do.
Yes. So the
And
right
also
track
is task 1.
the right way is following the document.
Yes. Yeah, until you are comfortable with adding more bonus points. For now, you
Yes.
can follow the documentation requirement. That's basically the judging happens based on the document. So you are safe with following it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Now you need to move forward with the EDA part.
Yes, I think it is task 2 and second one is task 3. So these tasks are the submission date is tomorrow.
Yeah, for tomorrow, just focus on task 2.
Okay.
So tomorrow submission, if you complete task 2, that is a good progress.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Masam, for sharing. Could you unraise the hand, Masfin, not to create confusion for me later? Okay. Masfin, should unraise the hand? Okay. Let's just move on. I think the next person is Daniel.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so my question is that I think it's similar with Masfun, but I joined later. Sorry for that.
That's fine.
So my question is about the interim report submission. So do we have to finish up to the task 2? It's must, or we are sharing the content is we are sharing the progress of our in the project. Do we have to finish the up to the task 2? Is that the mandatory?
Not mandatory, but we expect submission to be done until task 2. But that doesn't mean we don't want you to submit if you don't fulfill this. So even if you are on the still setting up your Git, whatever you have, you need to submit it.
Yeah, I finished up to the task 2. I am on the task 3.
Yeah.
My question is that is it possible to finish the whole task and submit it on the interim? So I don't have to submit again on Wednesday?
No, you need to submit again, even if it's the same thing, because the way our grading work is through our application in addition to our tutors. So grader, which we are using at the moment with 10x, it's a smart AI grader. So it needs to have that link of the final to grade you based on the final rubrics. So the grading requirements for interim and final are different.
Okay, yeah.
So the final submission, the AI grader need to have the final submission link to grade it based on the final grading requirements.
Okay.
So submitting it is beneficial for you, otherwise it will pass as 0. So just submit the same link. It's not a hard thing to do. It's the same link. If you finish by tomorrow everything, I mean, kudos for you. That's really great. But just, apply what we want so we can go always organized way.
Okay, okay, another question. What about the documentation thing? I think I read something like
the
it's good to do it. What?
Okay, I think you are saying the report, right?
No, not of course the report is, as you said, I have to submit it on Sunday and also on Wednesday. No, my question is that I think there is a word that I read. It's about the documentation. Do I have to submit another documentation, or is it only the report only?
I'm saying is a report, right? That is what you need to submit an interim report. Is there another section that is made for you guys?
Okay, it's about our progress on the project, right?
Yes, it's your progress on the project for week 0. I mean, for tomorrow's submission, which we call interim report. So basically, on this report, all you need to write is your week 0 plan to finish up this project, your summaries, whatever you did. If you, especially if you are guys doing the EDA, just share some, useful EDA graphs that you come up with to indicate some data. This just will show more how you did it. Not only how you did it, it's just more shows that you really understood what you did. So whatever you did on GitHub, the only way that we know that you really understood it is through the report. So make sure to bring this report to show how much you understand what you did. Okay?
Okay, so, thank you.
You said you might finish everything tomorrow. I would really highly recommend you not to write a report about like final report. Okay? You need to look through it's just to help you get a good grade through the AI grading as well, because it's not only manual grading. Manual grading does happen on it, but the first grading is through the AI. So I need you also to write a report that is appropriate for interim report, and on the final report, you can just write the whole about the whole application, your final results and everything. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
But I guess you are ready for submissions and just ask a question.
Okay, so I don't have to wait for Sunday, right? If I finished it today.
I don't think. Just check your 10x site. Probably it's not active right now. If it's active, just submit it. I'm not sure. You need to talk about that with the 10x support. Just go to your Kifiya, portal. And on active, just submit. You don't have to wait till night. Till tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel. I think the next person is Jonathan. Yeah, Jonathan, you can go ahead.
So, hello guys. I think you addressed my question. I have the same question with Daniel. Okay. So, but from my side, I have completed the first task, and currently I'm reviewing the previous session on the EDA. So, I'm currently working on the task 2. So, hopefully, I will complete it by the end of the day, so that I can submit it tomorrow. So this is my update.
Yeah, thank you, Nathan. That's really good progress. Yeah, thank you. Let's go to the next person. I think Philemon Hailamariam.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
So my question is it's about the non-technical assignments. So what exactly do we need to submit for them? I mean, do we have to say like I created this repo, something like technical, or just overall the things we have done? I'm not sure I understand that. So
yeah, on this one, when you say in tactical, it's about career document challenges, or are we talking on the project?
No, so in the projects we have to submit, I think the non-technical assignment on the interim.
You mean the
So-
interim report, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do
just
we?
as non-technical, it's still a technical, because it's a report of explaining what you have done within your GitHub repo, your tasks. So it's much more a report of what you are doing. So for the interim report, basically you need, because the interim report is halfway report, so we expect you at the end of your report to mention what your plans are moving forward to finalize the project. So you can just list completing task 2. Task 3 is probably most of your plans after tomorrow's interim submission. So just don't say like our next plan is to complete task 3. Just mention what are the tasks within task 3 you are planning to implement and complete, and so on and so on. So on the interim report, you are writing a report of what you have done. That on task 1 you have done this, just mention them. On task 3 you have explored the data, do ADD analysis, do all these missing value outliers things. So mention them and share some kind of graphs, results, just to show us that you actually understood what you did. You know what you are talking about. So sharing these results graphs does give you a good point. So make sure to add them and explain what they meant instead of just putting graphs on your report. Explain them. It's just more about to showing off what you did and explaining what they meant and putting a week 0 plan to finalize a whole application for the next submission. So on the final report, you don't have future plans, more you have points that explain what you did so far, what you find from the data, and so on and so on. If there are challenges that you experienced working on these projects, for example, when you are installing, setting up this GitHub repos, it might not come easy for some of you. So that is a challenge. Mentioning that even in the interim and the final report is another good point, just to show us, your working flow, work in progress. We also want to see the challenges you face and how you overcome them. So more like this is a communication between you and the graders, us and the AI, to let us know your working process. Is that clear, Limon?
Yeah. Thank you. Another one. So do we need to do all the 3 countries for the interim, or we just have to submit where we are?
So I'm not going to say do this and do that. What I'm gonna say is submit what you have as much as you can, because if I say you need to complete all 3 of them, I'm just gonna make you overwhelmed and be nervous, leading to some of you to not submit what you have. So that's not what we want. What we want is as much as you can, as much as your skill lets you, just do what you can with everything, not just with the done countries, and submit what you have till tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. One last thing, is there any format for the report, or?
We don't provide any formats, but basically we know the standard report format, that is, there should be an introduction, there should be a methodology section where you describe everything, what you did, what you have not done. I mean, not what you have not done, it's just based that focus on what you did by sharing some results and everything. This was the data, and so on and so on. By exploring the data, we have found this kind of methodology part. Just discuss what you actually did, implement on your GitHub repo by sharing some things. And the other, on the interim, we expect in both this, so far what I'm telling you works for both of them, and share challenges. So when you are working with these challenges, if there is, starting from even internet connection problem, mentioning them is a good practice. So if there are challenges that you have faced, and if you end up getting a solution to solve those problems, how you overcome those solutions. So challenge overcome, you can create, you can write a section as well. And for inter-submission, future plans, you should put that. And at the end, you will have the conclusion section to finalize your report with 1 or 2 paragraphs. So what else is there? So on the final submission, maybe if some of you don't end up finalizing the whole project, you can mention future or recommended plans to complete the project. You can mention some points, what you recommend. I mean, whatever you are doing, it can also be done more advancedly. So you can put them as a recommendation. It just will show us your critical thinking and your insights on the project. So to the very least, it should contain these sections, but the report can be broadened. So if you have that desire to broaden it, again, you are welcome to explore. Okay, is that clear, Flimon?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. So let me answer some of the chats since we are 30 minutes up. Audience. Okay, is some of them are answered there. Can you give a report structure? I think I already did here. Does task 3 omnets also include in tomorrow's submission? Technically, we don't expect you to submit it, but if you are already done it, of course, you are welcome to submit. If you are still on task 1 and you still didn't manage to finish up task 2 to submit tomorrow, just submit what you have. That's really important to submit what you have. Okay, don't be discouraged because you are not catching up with others or with what we ask. Just submit what you have and you'll make sure you'll finalize it at the end of the submission for the final one. But whatever you can, you submit. Whatever you have should be converted into positive. There's 65%. Yeah, I think this one also addressed with Gammachis and Dagam. So Baraka said, I'm not ready for the submission. I need help. So I think his name is Barakat Fallaka here. So any of you, especially who was it? I think I forgot the name. Daniel, I think, yeah. You said you have finished almost everything. So as a peer-to-peer interaction, Daniel, I would really appreciate if you reach out. But I think Barakat also should reach out back, not Daniel. Barakat, you should reach out to Daniel to help you out with the submission. Since he already almost complete, he can help you out. You guys really should communicate each other, DM each other, and create a friendship to these things. You need helping each other out is really the right way to finish these courses. So Barakat, I would recommend you to reach out to the people who talk here and within your community, within this Slack community to help you out. I don't know where you are, but make sure, actually, if you can speak up, maybe people will have some ideas where you are. I'm not sure if you are on task 1 or task 2, but you can get help from your peers to complete what you have. But with that being said, please, whatever you have, make sure to submit, Barakat. Don't get discouraged. Whatever you have, make sure you submit it. Write a report of your future plans and everything, and reach out to your peers. Hopefully that is clear. Okay. Can you please tell us the minimum expectation for tomorrow's submission? It's from Makbub. I think I already addressed this one as well. So if you finish up task 2, it's really great. If not, it's okay. Just submit what you have. Hello team, I joined this section with a 20 month, but with the knowledge gap, frankly, I'm not ready for tomorrow's submission. Ayob, again, if you, Barakat, Ayob, if you guys are here and if you can speak up, it would be great to help us grasp where you are. But the primary suggestions that I would make for those of you who are behind with this knowledge gap and so on, please do reach out to the tutors. And especially, I would recommend you reach out to your peers because they are already actively doing their projects. They are more aware and they will help easily. So I would, you as well, if you guys can have a meet with Daniel, it would be great. He will give you a guide on these knowledge gaps. But with that being said, I still recommend you to submit what you have. Hopefully, if it's an error with the GitHub environment setup, getting some kind of connection with Daniel and others here who already completed task 2 would be beneficial. And also write down on the Slack. Just tell us on the group chat where you are, and we can also provide us and the other trainees how to move forward with these setups. Okay. So your Barakat, I would recommend to use one of the options that I just mentioned to get ready for tomorrow's submission. Yes, I think Balada also mentioned the same thing for Eyob. Make sure to reach out. Okay, I think Gamatch is just sharing the submission date. Format of the report I just discussed. Do we have to follow the directory structure over the shared settlement? So, Chala, do we have to strictly follow the directory structure over the shared document? This is, if you have a better options, please go ahead. Okay. Whatever, if you guys have a better option that we are offering on your challenge document, you guys are welcome to do it. It's no problem. This is just the minimum structure for beginners, especially if they need guidance how to do this. That is why we are putting it on the documentation. But if you have some other imaginative how you should structure your post-study with following the best practices, you are welcome to implement. Okay. Just if you did for one country, you can repeat the same for the others too. Yeah, that is true. Where can I find the task in the portal? Bisrat, yeah, I think it's answered by Daniel as well. But I'm not sure. Are you talking where can I find the tasks and their corresponding instructions in the portal? Okay. The only portal is 10x platform that you guys have, so you need to follow that. But if you are talking about the tasks defined on the documentation, you can also refer that. Only that answer. Can we submit only to partition day? Thomas, again, like I said, whatever you have, submit. Whatever you did, just submit everything. What not an option is not submitting. Not okay. The option for you guys that is not highly not recommended or is mandatory is not to submit. But submitting what you have, even if it's only task 1, that is what we recommend. So submit what you have. For Henok, I think the specific deadline is also shared on the documentation. Gamesh is also shared on the chat. It is tomorrow midnight. Today or tomorrow. I think most of them are answered by people. Getai, is that time management task, a career task, guys? I don't think this is technical submission. 0 participation. So, Garmacha, you said I have been in the first stand-up, but the dashboard says 0 participation. What is the reason? So, I think you should evaluate your gradings on your platform, on your 10x platform, every time by the end of this week. that means after your week 0 is evaluated, if there are no changes within your grading, then you contact us. This is too early because no one's participation is updated as far as I know. So it will get updated. It's not more an attendance that we update every day. By the end of all the submissions are graded, all your participation in every course will get to be updated. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm not sure, Gita, if you are asking the non-technical submission time management task. I don't have any information with that challenge, so please reach out if it's a, I think this is more a career challenge. Reach out to your career tutor to ask about this. I don't have the latest information on this one. Yeah, Henok again asked the same thing. I think it's time management stress, the importance of punctuality in managing time. Okay, are you guys referring on the documentation? There is some note on time management. Is that what you're referring when you are saying then in technical time management?
I think the meeting after 15 or 20 minutes will answer the question.
Okay, good. Okay, that's great then. This is more a career challenge, so please talk with the career team on this one. Okay, so that's task 3, not mandatory for Sundays. Yes, Dagam, it's not mandatory. Gita, if you still want to recap, please write again. But I think we covered most of them within the Q&A we just had. Daniel, okay, thank you, Barakat, for writing back. To reach out to Daniel. I have submitted task 1 yesterday, almost have come task 2. Okay, thank you for sharing your update, the Cielo. Yeah. You are on the right track. I'm happy one of you is interested in assisting me. Thank you. Okay, I don't Ayob again. So Ayob and Barakat, Daniel is saying hit me up on Slack. So please do just that, because guys can have a meeting within yourself and come up with some work for tomorrow's submission. Okay, 39 Could you please repeat about the requirements on task 1, what to work on task 2? No, it's fine, Milet. Don't worry about that. Just for next time, join with the right email address that you are. But just I wouldn't worry about it for today, okay? So could you please repeat about the requirements on task 1, what to work on in task 2? So Philemon can ask you to explain this just for our friend Samara. Are you still on the call, Philemon?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, he asked us to repeat the requirements on task 1 and task 2. Just give us an overview of what to expect from completing task 1 and task 2.
So, as my understanding, on task 1, you should set up your Git, your Python environment, and put everything on the report. Like I did this, the output was like this. Everything within, even in the errors, internet errors, and everything. On task 2, I think I'm still working on it. So maybe put graphs or understandings of any explanation that you did on your projects. I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, you are correct. Samara, that is what you're going to do with task 1 and task 2, completing what are each tasks include. If it's as a question regarding the technical implementation, they are clearly defined on the documentation. You can refer that. But all the things Philemon said are basically what is expected, what are the requirements are. But the details of your actual implementations are listed clearly on the documentation. Please go refer those. For Mawal, you asked me to write what to expect from the inter and final submission reader form. So I think it would be easier if I write down on the Slack, on the group chat. So after this meet, I'll write down the basic things an interim report and final report should include. I think that would be great, right? Yeah, I will just do that. Do the order of the submission affect the grade? I'm not sure I understand the question, Tariq. You mean submitting report, then GitHub link? If that's the question, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you submit both, however order that you want. It would not be a problem. Just make sure you report the GitHub link on the GitHub section of the submission. That's what happened with previous streams as well. Sometimes they mix up the GitHub link on the report one and the report on the on that one, and that's really messed up. Not for us, but for the AI, it expects on the GitHub link to find a GitHub link submission. Okay, so let's help out our AI application and just submit what we ask you on the 10x platform on the GitHub link. Make sure it's a GitHub link, and on the other one, that the report one. And plus, if you are working on branches on GitHub, maybe I should mention that. So if your tomorrow submission or are on some branch, if you are not merging, if you merge it on the main branch, it will be really great for everyone involved. But I'm just saying this for week 0, but for the following weeks, we really recommend you to merge your work with the main branch and submit your main branch. But for week 0, if you are new Git in all GitHub functionalities, just at least submit the branch link when you are copying the GitHub. Just copy the GitHub link from the branch and submit that link. But you should practice for future submissions, merging with the main branch and submitting that main link. Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay, about the merge thing, I did merge with the main branch, and I delete those branches that I have been working on. So it doesn't affect my score, right?
No, I mean, because you told me now, I would make sure it wouldn't affect it, but don't do that, okay? Your branches are your history of what you are doing. So don't delete them because we are checking your history, your activities within that repo.
Okay, but you can't check it on the commit history, so it doesn't affect. So I don't have to redo it, right?
No, don't redo it for now. It's fine. Just for future submissions and everything, you don't have to delete the branches, okay? Just leave them there and submit the main branch.
Okay.
So whoever tutor is judging your work, even knowing you have the ability to know how to create branches is a good value for you, okay? Because there are some within ourselves that are new for GitHub, and we also want them to practice, doing Git branching. So it's just a value we also somehow see, especially for the early weeks. So just don't delete your branchings. But really, I know that merging and everything, that's a good quality. So everyone, you should practice how to use Git better. submitting your main branch is in the future submission. We really want you to submit your merging code, because if your implementations are spread out with different branches, it will be harder to track and everything. So merge it, just practice for merging concepts, how to do git merge for future submissions. Hopefully that's clear. Yeah.
So, as you said, that's not gonna affect my scores, right? So I can do it. I can redo it. It's no problem for me.
Okay, if it's not, just then redo it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Where I think, what else is there? Any specific report formats? Yeah, Macweb, I will just, it's fine. I'll just write the expected interim and GitHub formats that will still be approvable by the AI on the Slack, so you don't have to worry about that. Is there a GitHub repository or the link of the branch? Yes, for the GitHub submission, you are supposed to provide your GitHub repo where your code implementation is that exists. So you need to provide that link. So in case you are working on a branch for some of the tasks, if you are familiar with how to use Git like Daniel is, merge it with the main branch and submit your main branch link. But in case you are working on some branch, just to help us out, you should just be on that particular branch, and just grab from the browser that link and submit that one. Hopefully that's clear. If not, please reach out to your peers on the Slack, okay? What will expected to submit in assignment report made it result of each task? Okay, if your question is similar like Macweb, what to expect the format of the report, I will be writing some notes on how to do that on the Slack, what your report should include. So you can follow that. Make the result of each task. If you meant that, sure, do I need to share every result of each task? I personally wouldn't recommend you to share everything, just not to make your report longer. Just focus on those valuable outputs that you get from analyzing that data and explaining them. So if you find some useful ADA or some when you are doing those data analysis, just share us with us within the report. It doesn't have to be sharing every single result that you did. It's just pick the right ones that you think will attract attention, will show off your analyzing skill, share them. If that's a question, that is my answer. Alkidan, you would need, the submission is going to happen on your 10x platform. I think you have access, everyone has access to that. So you need to log into that 10x platform. I think you guys already have some orientation on that, I believe. So follow that and submit within your particular week 0 submission, provide those interim and GitHub links. Again, if you are confused, please don't waste time by trying to figure out on your own. If you are confused, reach out on peers and 10x support to guide you how to do this if you are confused, okay? It's really an easy step. You just need to get used to it. Is creating a branch and working on a branch is a must? Let's see. So on the documentation, you are asked on task 1, if you see, create a branch called setup task. So it means we want you to experience how to create a branch. So for those of you who are experienced with Git, it might seem like unnecessary step, but for beginners, it really is. We need them to get used to this. So please just follow the documentation and create a branch and work there. And just share the link of that branch for, okay. So I would say yes, Kale, for your question. Okay, so the file format, Abdurazik, I will be sharing the minimum text to include on your reports. So I'll share this after this meeting. So just check out on the group chat with Wiki0, okay? Just include this points on you. I will write for both intermediate and final and just include those points to the very least as your part of your report format. But reports that if you go to the internet, there are a lot of reporting way of structures. If you guys want to add them and make your report more advanced, again, there's no limit to that. Please go ahead and make your reports better. I'm just going to mention not the only one, but the least one to include it on your report points only. Oh, okay. You mean doc or PDF? I think the 10x platform expects a link for your file. So probably create a doc on your drive. Make sure to give access. You don't know, right, to give full access on your documentation. I don't know if you want me to show you or not, but just go to your Gmail account, drive file, and create a new document there. When you create a new document, it will give you, the docs link is a link that you can share on 10x platform. But the thing that you need to be careful is you need to really give an access for that document to be seen by anyone within the link. Should I share my screen and show you this one? How many of you know how to do this? I'm not really sure.
I'm sorry, if I may say, the easiest way to do it is on the sharing for Google Docs.
Yeah.
What the best thing to do is you actually can make it visible to anybody with a link. So just click on the top right hand of the screen. Don't share custom to any specific email address. Just make it view only for anybody with the link. And so that way, when you share the link, anybody can see it. That gives global access rather than local access.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nabil. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. If you want me to show you how to do this, I can show you, but I think it's a really easy step and you can find reference on YouTube as well. So either you provide these doc links, but not right now, but future submissions, you can also use Medium. If you know Medium, you can write articles, your reports there and provide the Medium link as well. That is also more a professional report way of writing it. So if you want that, you can use that, the Medium. Probably in the future, we will have tutorial on that one. But for tomorrow's submission, you can focus on the docs as well. You have these options. PDF would be more located on your local, so you cannot share it after Razak, so don't use that. I cannot find any task on my 10x account. So Sanfas, probably the 10x account is not active. That's what I think it is. If you don't see any submissions links on your account, probably it's not active. It will be active, I think, later tonight or tomorrow. But anyway, if there's not still active for you, while it's active for others, make sure to reach out to 10x support. They will solve this problem, okay? I think there would be some notifications on Slack to say that it's active for everyone to submit, probably, but make sure to reach out to them if you are really worried about this. Okay. So I think most of the questions are answered on the chat. We are already past time, so I will let you guys go. Thank you for joining and sharing. For those of you who talked and help each other out, answer some questions, really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to stop the recording now.